Well, let's speak now to Laura Blumenfeld. She's a senior fellow at Johns Hopkins University, Middle East analyst and former senior policy advisor on the State Department's Israeli-Palestinian negotiating team. Really good to have you with us on The Context, Laura. And I want to begin by getting your reaction to that line from the Israeli foreign minister.
Well, I mean, you can chill your champagne, but don't pop the cork because, yes, the big issues might be worked out, but it is those little details that can get you. I think that the domestic politics are very important, both for the Israelis and Hamas. When I worked on the Israeli-Palestinian team under Secretary Kerry on the peace team, we were undone by domestic politics, and that's what we were reminded of. So I do think that, the outside parties, the United States and the mediators, we can't want it more than they do. It looks like they want it. I wish I could say it's for positive reasons. It's about hope, but I really think the fear factor is at play for Hamas. I mean, they're afraid of becoming irrelevant. They're weak, both internally and also regionally. For Netanyahu, I think he's looking at President Trump like that tornado twisting on the horizon. The last thing Trump wants is a headache in the Middle East, and he's saying to Netanyahu, get me a deal.
So you think that is a decisive factor in all of this, Donald Trump due to return to the White House next week?
Absolutely. I mean, it's unprecedented, the kind of partnership that you see between Biden's team and Trump's team. It's kind of been like herding cats, but you've got the two big dogs on the parties now, and it could make a difference. Again, I think the fear factor is crucial. For Biden leaving office, it feels bad having those hostages there. For Trump coming into office, it looks bad. For him, appearances are everything. So there is a kind of perfect storm, and that could bring us over the line. We've been disappointed before. Again, on those details, I remember we spent 3 days haggling over a comma, and in the end, we didn't get our way. The people I was working with, the American envoy, ended up with throat cancer because he spent so many years in smoke-filled rooms, not succeeding, and our Palestinian counterpart had emphysema. So not to be too depressing here, but I think we'll get there. There's no light, though, at the end of Hamas tunnels. We've got a long road ahead.
Fascinating insight into the details of what those long drawn-out negotiation processes can look like, as you say, sometimes without anything to show for it at the end. Do you think this time will be different because of all of those circumstances that you have set out?
Well, some lessons learned. In May, the president put out a 3-point plan. And as one of my Israeli colleagues joked, the only plans that work in the Middle East are 1-point plans. It looks like now they're going to go for, some are calling it a partial deal. The Israelis are saying it's a gradual deal. In Arabic, it's shwai shwai, slow, slow, one thing at a time. If we can get some of those hostages out, the women, the children, if they're alive, or the remains of the children, let's recoup those wins. Because when I was at the State Department, the slogan was go big or go home. Nothing is agreed until everything is agreed. And so we went home and we had more war.
Laura Blumenfeld, thank you very much for your thoughts on this developing story. Laura Blumenfeld there, Senior Fellow at Johns Hopkins University.